And welcome back again. We have lots of fish turning up today. Not entirely sure what fish. Oh, if you know someone with crabs, click the like button. No, don't do that. Yes, lots and lots of cool fish. I think, what have I got turning up? I think I've got Elephantnose. That's an Elephantnose. They do that. And all sorts of stuff. But in another couple of days, what day are we? We're Wednesday. So on Friday, there's a couple of hundred better fish turning up. So we'll have really cool new better fish. So stay tuned for that. So I think most of the fish that are turning up today are tetras, community fish, all that wonderful stuff. There might be a few weird things. I don't know if I ordered Murray cod. I may have ordered Murray cod. I may have forgot. But we'll figure that out. Anyway, yes, let's go to the boxes and find out what is in them. And we have two tiny little boxes. Yay, tiny little box. Okay, tiny little boxes. We have, in our tiny little boxes, we have kuhli loaches, black kuhli loaches. What are they? Albino glow lights, Tandanus, other things, Redline torpedo barbs, and Elephantnose, and other things. So we are going to open them. Okay, little boxes are probably bigger than they look. So big little boxes. Thumbs up if you like little boxes. What have we got? First fish is Elephantnose. They are very cool little fish. Look at this smell. We shall get them out. Okay, Elephantnose are super cool. They actually go by electricity in the water. They've got a weird little electrical sensor thing on their tail. And yeah, that actually tells them where objects are, which is kind of bizarre. They use their weird little snout for rummaging through mud and leaf litter to eat worms and stuff like that. So these guys need defrosted bloodworms, brine shrimp, live black worms, all that wonderful stuff. But we will now stick them in the tanks. Okay, my small boxes that are getting larger. Is that even a thing? What else have we got? Let's look in this one. They are long fin black widows. Okay, long fin black widows will live for around about 7 or 8 years. Very cool, peaceful community fish. The long fins pretty much just cancels out any nipping in most tetras. So if you've got a long fin fish, they're not really going to nip other fish. Still want caution with keeping them with guppies and stuff like that, because guppy tails are pretty tempting for most fish to nibble on. These guys will happily live in a pH, slightly acidic, all the way down to about 5 or so. Generally just a pretty cool fish. So when they settle into a tank, they'll go nice black edging around the fins and a silver body. So they haven't coloured up yet, but you'll get an idea just by looking at where the black is on them. That'll go a nice jet black colour as they settle into a tank. Usually it will take about a day or two to settle. What else have we got? Silver sharks. So these are slightly larger than the little 5 centimetre silver sharks we usually get in. These guys are around about that 10, 12 centimetre size. I think there's a couple of bags of these. There's one there. More silver sharks. So let's put them in a thing. Silver sharks are pretty awesome. They will get huge, around about that 25 to 35 centimeters, sometimes up to 40 centimeters. Fast schooling fish, so you want a group of at least 3 or more of them. These guys are pretty nice. They're like a metallic silver and they have black edging on their fins. So we will jump to them in a tank in a second. Roughly all round pretty cool fish. They do get big enough to eat small fish like neons and that, but they aren't predatory. So they're only really called a shark because they've got that sort of shark shape to it, I suppose you could say. Shark shape. Anyway, let's jump to them in a tank. Okay, they're a little bit spooked, but that is the schooling behavior of silver sharks. So as you can see, they really like to be in a group. So you'll need a decent sized tank for these guys. To start with like about a 4-foot tank, and then you want to go to about a 6x2 or something like that. Pretty cool fish though. Okay, next we have, what is in there? Pristilla tetras. More Pristilla tetras. They are a lovely little fish. What's I going to say then? A lovely little, they are a fish. They're a lovely little fish, full stop. Let's pop them in a tank. Pristilla tetras come from South America, pretty much the Amazon basin. Another name for them is X-ray tetra because they're almost transparent. They have really nice red and yellow and black highlights on the fins. So now we will stick them in a tank so you get to see them. And there's the Pristilla tetras. So just starting to get their color, you can just make out the yellow and the red. So some of the ones that were left over from last time, you can see the color a little bit better, but they'll take a couple of days and they'll color up. Lovely little tetras. Okay, now we have, what are they? Oh, striped silver dollars. These guys are pretty cool. Like a normal silver dollar, but get ready for it. They have stripes. Woo! Yeah, different species. Yeah, nice fish. Nice fish. We will stick them in a thing. Okay, they look kind of boring in a bucket, but they are not boring. They'll go a really nice sort of yellow color with sort of tiger stripes on them as they mature. They would get same size as most of your normal plain silver dollars, so they're going to get around that sort of maybe 8 to 10 centimeter diameter, so decent chunky fish. Come from South America, like all the other silver dollars and that. Yeah, they're just like a big tetra. They love to eat plants, so you don't really want to mix them with heavily planted tanks unless you don't like your plants. Yeah, they're not going to really look interesting in the tank colored up apart from the shape of them. So we are going to go to Google. Look, it's Google. Go figure. How high-tech is this? But they will look like that. So that is pretty much, there you go, scientific name, and what they're going to look like as they mature. So that's a slightly different species, that one. But that fish there, that fish there, that fish there is what they're going to look like. So let's go to the tank. Okay, if you can see them in the back there, you can just make out the stripes on them. They're the little guys. There they are. Again, a schooling fish, so you want a group of 3, if not 6 of them. Pretty awesome little fish though. There they go. Lovely. One bag left in the first box, or 2 bags. Ooh, look at them. Tandanus catfish. So these guys are maybe 20 centimeters. They get about 1 meter long. Big, chunky, awesome catfish. They're a native fish to Australia. So eel-tail catfish. Oh, what have we got in there? Tetras. What are they? Rosy tetras. Black phantom tetras? No, they're black phantom tetras. Anyway, yes, back to the Tandanus. There was 2 bags. We have more of these guys in the other box, but they are very cool little catfish. So, yeah, great for cold water, for ponds. They will get huge, so 1 meter long. They're probably going to wipe out goldfish if you put them in with goldfish. But let's pop them in a bucket. Aren't they just awesome? Look at their whiskers. Lovely blue eyes. So they'll go a darker grey colour as they get bigger. And when they're not stressed in a bucket, because they're trying to blend into their conditions. But yeah, all round, awesome fish. So they'll survive down to like maybe 5 degrees, 10 degrees, no problems. And then they'll go all the way up to about 30 degrees. So really tough fish. They do have a decent sized mouth, so they can inhale smaller fish. And as we said, they get about 1 meter long. So like a mini Wells catfish. Really cool. That's a big, messy, cool fish. Look at him. So whiskered. Little vacuum cleaner. So cool. Black phantom tetras, yep, they come from South America, I think Bolivia, places like that. So Western South America. I'm sure that's right. You may have to Google that and correct me if I'm wrong. They're a really nice fish. They'll go a nice dark, blacky, sort of smoky color. And where they've got like a little black mark behind their eye, you get a really nice bright green stripe around that. Super cool little things. Yep, and they're going in a tank. These are the black phantom tetras. They're just starting to get their color to them. So you can just make out the blue greeny edging around that black spot just behind the eye. Really, really nice tetras. So they will totally change from this color. Takes them about a day or so. So unfortunately I won't have the footage in this video, but if I do an update in a few days, if there's any left, you'll be able to see how cool they are. Really, really, really nice little tetras though. They are so nice. That looks like a whole heap of gold snails. So gold mystery snails, they will survive unheated in Brisbane. Yeah, great little scavengers. So they're perfect for tanks with goldfish and cold water fish that you can't have suckerfish in, because most of your suckerfish, like your bristlenose and that, are a tropical fish and they do not like the cold. Yeah, let's pop them in a tank. That's very wiggly, that one. So we're going to open that. Ugh. Black kuhli loaches. Look at them. If you have a phobia about snakes, look away. Not that they're snakes, they are fish or loach. Very cool little catfish. So let's pop them in a tub. Oh, look how wiggly they are. So these guys are from Southeast Asia. They are a peaceful loach. They're not going to eat little baby neons or anything like that. They may inhale baby shrimp, but not really on purpose, just in case there's a shrimp in front of them. So these are your normal black kuhli loach or chocolate kuhli loach. And we've got the little wiggly stripy guys. They are so little. How cool are they? So these guys get the same size. They are a slightly different species. But these ones are from Malaysia, Thailand, Borneo, all that sort of stuff. So slightly different version of these ones, but they are big and wiggly. These guys are small and wiggly. Yeah, schooling as well. So you want to get a group of them. If you've only got one, they will just disappear in your tank. If you have a group, you'll see them a little bit more often. Let's pop them in the tank, never to be seen again. Nah, we'll see them. What is in this bag? Oh, we have Redline torpedo barbs. So they don't look like much when they're little, but they are one of the nicest, slightly bigger barbs you can get. Still peaceful. You can mix them with things like angelfish and slightly bigger tetras and that. You don't want to mix them with tiny, tiny little fish, so they might pick on little baby tetras like neons and stuff, but anything bigger, they will be fine. So we will stick them in a thing. Okay, they don't look like much in a bucket, but Redline torpedo barbs, or roseline barb, I think they call them as well, are really, really pretty. So they get a bright red stripe above their eye that goes halfway along the body. There's a black stripe through the body, and then there's two bright yellow marks at the end of their tail with two black dots. So what we might do is just go to Google, but there's a Google. That is what they're going to look like as they mature. So they are a very pretty fish. Schooling fish as well, so you do need a group of them, unfortunately. They are not one of the cheaper fish, but they are worth it. How pretty are they? I do have a couple in one of my display tanks, but they're too fast to take a video of, so that's what we have there. There's small fish in that bag. They are Otocinclus catfish. They are one of the smaller, easy to get little sucker fish you can get for mini tanks. Nice and peaceful, perfect to go with tetras and stuff. If you've got a little tank like 30 liters or smaller, these guys are fine. They do like to be in groups, so you want to get like 3 or more of them. But they only max out at around about that 3 to 4 centimeter size. So perfect little sucker fish for little tiny nano tanks and just peaceful community tanks. And there they are. Those are Otto catfish, or dwarf suckerfish, you could call them. Native to South America. I think they've got a huge range in South America. All around just cool little tiny suckerfish. Look at them. You just have to make sure you keep them well fed. So lots of algae-based foods, algae wafers, flakes, all that sort of stuff. They are getting bred more and more in captivity now. These are not wild caught, by the way. They're bred overseas and imported. But lots of people are getting them spawn in their tanks. So very cool little guys. And they'll lay individual eggs all throughout the tank, and you'll have tiny little fry if you other fish don't eat them. Starting to run out of bags. But what is in this one? Ooh, albino widow tetras. So these are like the longfin black widows, but they're not longfin and they're not black. So there we go. Another cool tetra. So these are just the albino version. So you're not going to find these ones in the wild this color. Usually they're the black sort of color, but super pretty little fish. So let's stick them in a thing. Okay, I keep calling them albino, but they're actually leucistic because they don't have red eyes. They've got black eyes. So leucistic is pretty much an albino, but they have black pigmentation in them. So they are just pretty much a line-bred version of a normal widow tetra. So a lot of misinformation online, people calling them hybrids and all sorts of stuff. They are not a mix of two different species. They are just a line-bred color mutation. So it is recessive like albino, but they just don't have red eyes. Very cool little fish though. Let's stick them in a tank. Getting to the last ones. Oh, now they are cool. So these are albino glow light tetras. These are actually true albinos because they have red eyes. Haha! So nothing leucistic about these guys. They look awesome in a tank. So they're like a really bright sort of goldy white color. It's like they almost glow. So they are lovely. So let's stick them in a thing. So this is another natural color mutation. So albino is a recessive gene. So eventually, yeah, someone has bred them. They've found a few white ones and then they've line bred them. And ta-da, we have very cool, bright colored fish. So, yeah, their care is pretty much the same as any other albino fish. So you don't want blinding lights for the poor little guys because they don't have any sort of way of stopping the light from damaging their eyes. But otherwise, they just act and look like a normal fish, just a lot brighter and a lot cooler. Let's stick them in a tank. Down to the last two bags, we have... What are they? Oh, golden Buenos Aires tetras. So these are the albino version of a normal Buenos Aires tetra. So again, red eye. Look at everyone being learned about albinos, even though everyone probably knows about albinos. But they are a lovely little fish too. So the dark colors on these go yellow. Yeah, so they're yellow and red and orange. Pretty fish. They do get a decent size, so they can be very, very nippy as well. So in a thing they go. Can you guess where Buenos Aires tetras come from? Yeah, comment down below. I'm not even going to go there. How cool are they? In a tank they go. It's the last bag. Hurrah! Have Dalmatian balloon mollies. Aren't they pretty? In a thing they go. Dalmatian balloon mollies. You're not going to find these in the wild. The Dalmatian color is just a genetic thing and probably line bred, I would say. It's just popped up randomly when people were breeding mollies. And the shape of them is also a genetic thing. So one has been born a little bit stumpy and then they've just bred it with other stumpy ones to make stumpy fish. Whether you agree or not, they are here. There they are. Doesn't seem to affect the fish, which is a good thing. But yeah, some people like them, some people don't. There are many, many, many gold snails. Lots of gold snails have turned up. Hello. Oh, focus. Are we focusing? There we go. Yeah, so they're all the gold snails. Lots of gold snails. Let's go have a look at the widow tetras now. There are the white widows, or gold widows, the albino non-albinos because of the black eye. Really, really nice tetras. Those are the long fin black widows, so still haven't coloured up, but you can just start to see the dark now compared to those. Right there are the albino glow light tetras, and those are the Redline sharks, or roseline sharks, or torpedoes, or whatever you want to call them. So just kind of make them out now. How pretty are those guys? They are lovely little fishes. Apart from that, we've got the, what are they? Elephantnose. I should know what they are because look at their noses. They're like elephants. Not really like an elephant, but they call them elephant noses, so be it. That's what they are called. Aren't they cool? down below, we are now down below. There we go. There are the Otocinclus catfish. So quite a few of those little guys. Also awesome little alligators. Anyway, I think that is probably everything. Oh wait, Buenos tetras, there they are at the back. Darting around, doing their Buenos tetra things. So again, don't mix them with long flowing fins, otherwise they're going to nip things. But they're fine with slightly bigger tetras, things like rainbow fish. God, they're nice. I still need to take some of those home. And things like that. Anyway, if you like this video, I did it a little bit differently, as you noticed. If you haven't noticed, then don't worry about it. It's good. Yeah, if you like this video, can you click the thumbs up thingy so I know? We have tons and tons of better fish turning up day after tomorrow. So there'll be a video unboxing hundreds of those little guys. Added sand, adding plants, trying to make them better tanks. Yeah, I know. May even make these bigger tanks eventually, so see how we go with that. But anyway, thank you for watching, and yeah, subscribe if you want to subscribe, because you've made it this far, so you're probably kind of enjoying what you're watching. Oh, new plants turned up as well. Oh, and watch the next video, because I will have a special on fish that are very cool. So, bye!